Oh, I forgot one thing. I think you brought up in a pod once about like a California roll, and it's crab. It's crab and avocado, and I learned that. Well, because there's
Actually,
sushi at Wegman, so I looked at it. I guess you can like mix it up,
shit.
but it's called California because it's CNA crab and avocado, and it was made in Canada. It's not even from California.
Caitlin was telling me, she goes, actually, she mentioned something else, and it was like when I said I went to the art museum for the display for Marvel, she's like, no, that was at the Fillmore Institute. It was a different museum in Philly. So
Dude,
she's like,
you
you guys should have
fucking
a section
idiot.
where you listen to your old episodes and then have like corrections.
Oh, that'd be way too many corrections.
Yeah, I'm like, but that'd be half the next episode.
Yeah, our first 10 episodes are filled with shitty shit that we don't know. You just say things.
It's
Once it's
only
out
gonna
there,
get worse. It's only
it's
gonna get
true.
worse with stories that never actually happened, but we
Yeah.
just manifest them.
We're contributing to internet knowledge.
That's
That's the
correct.
important part. Like
Yep.
whatever we say, it's out there. So how about we do it, huh? Let's do it.
Yeah.
I've confused my priorities. Isn't it supposed to come to me? Yes, this is how it's meant to be. Every little thing flashing on a screen. Age of convenience. My daddy worked hard for this.
Daddy worked hard for this. Worked hard for this. Hello,
That is
hello.
a slice of Americana, that song.
It is. It is like Americana, isn't it?
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 11 of Strangely Familiar. I almost said Stranger Things. Oh, we should have
That's
took
weird.
that.
I think that would be a great name
We
for
could
this
have
podcast.
hijacked that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got some
It'd get the
accidental
unintentional
clicks.
hits in Google searches. Like,
Mhm.
fuck it. I don't care. It's not a game of integrity. It's just getting noticed.
Mhm. So this is a pod about becoming friends again after 20 years. So we already shit out 10 episodes. We're on 11. The first 10 don't matter, you guys. I mean, we appreciate you. Those are all practice.
This
is really the first
low
one.
end stuff. There is
Yeah.
not a lot of thoughts going into it. It's pretty low key, like zero expectations. Sorry, but
Yeah, we're up
thank
to
you.
double
Thank you for
digits
hanging
now.
out.
Now we gotta like be professional. Got to decide on our ad revenue, sponsors.
Absolutely.
It's becoming
Yeah.
real.
Phones are blowing up. Internet's
I'm Matt
blowing
Jones.
up. I'm Jeff Worden.
Yes, we're doing it. Holy shit. Look at it. It's us in the background.
Yeah.
What is that, a real program? If you guys don't know what our show looks like, there
It's
it is in the
that.
background.
Right.
You wanna
Maybe you're just
log in.
audiophiles and you're not realizing what you're missing out by watching two guys' faces and their mouths move with a matching the sounds you hear. It's like, it's incredible. Instead of just listening, you could see two guys talking.
Man,
Yeah.
What a world. What a world. We're in podception right here.
Yeah.
So, I think we just hop right onto these dice.
Sure, man. We ignored
nailed
them
the
last
format.
time.
It's always, we're very meticulous with our formatting and our timing and our pacing of the pod.
100%.
Let's get on it. Hope you all enjoyed the episode 10 of our favorite things, which is currently I'm uploading for the third time.
Yeah.
Everything's going really well.
Yeah, if you
no
listen,
sound issues.
hopefully when you listen to episode 10, you might get the real bottom feeder results. Because the microphone was going the opposite direction. You know, I thought these things didn't have to be pointed a certain way. So my audio might be a little messed up, but Matt's trying to fix that. But hopefully you can hear episode 10 and then tell us how much our opinions on things are terrible, because that's okay. You can tell me my favorite thing of that decade was trash. I don't mind. You'll be wrong, but go nuts.
Part of it is like a lot of the stuff I think I was like, yeah, that's I like that too, or like, damn, we should have. I left it mostly being like, man, we should have like been in touch during all this shit. Could have talked about it, while it was going on and shared all these things. But no, we're just
nope.
Yeah,
two selfish, clueless people.
But now look at our great success. See, you guys, you can not have a friendship for 20 years and just pick it right back up.
Right.
It's so easy.
Be better.
Just
Try
do
harder.
it. So we'll start. We got the conversation dice. I know we'll get into some strange fan mail, some comments, some of the
Mhm.
polls that we've had out there,
Yeah.
and we'll go from there. So we had explore, online, and love is our words. So that's kind of here. I did something. I did a thing,
Ugh.
and I checked Chat GPT.
Okay.
I said, "Can you create a short story using the words love, online, and explore?
Mhm.
Would you like to hear it?" It's a short story. It's like half a page, but this is online. Obviously, we know it's the AI coming together with a story.
Yeah.
And so I think it fits really well. So it says Emily's always been fascinated by the idea of exploring new cultures and meeting people from all around the world. There's a lot more blah blah blah. Spanish skills she explored, chatting with a guy named Luis from Colombia. See, this is where it gets spicy. So Emily
Mhm.
meets up with a guy named Luis from Colombia. They quickly hit it off, sharing their love for music, art, and travel. Amazed by Luis's stories of his country's beautiful landscapes, so she decided to fall in love with Luis
She
and went there.
decided to fall in
Yes.
love with Luis.
Emily found herself falling for Luis, even though they never met in person. Finally,
Mhm.
after months of talking online, Emily decided to take a leap of faith and book a trip to Colombia to meet Luis. She was nervous, but excited to finally explore the country she had heard so much about and to see if their connection was real. When they finally met, it was like they had known each other for years. Vibrant streets of Bogota, waterfalls, dancing, all that shit. They found love, basically. Like,
Spoiler alert.
I know. See the movie. I wish, yeah, if somebody out there is an animator wants to create the story of Emily and Luis's love story in Bogota, like, why is it in Bogota? Why is it in Colombia? ChatGPT, man, you're so good. That's a better story than I will have. I don't know why I let off with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, there's the bar set, and now for
It was my
reality.
first experience with ChatGPT. Have you fucked with it yet at all?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's amazing because it's like, wow, so much at my fingertips, and then you just sit there staring, not knowing what to put in there. Um, yeah, I think one of my first things I did was like, oh, actually, yeah. When I when I first tried it, there was up in Buffalo. I was visiting my buddy Bob, and we went into town into Lockport, New York, and there was a place called I think we drove by the place and it was called Karate Ken, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like a guy that did like family karate. And so I
Best way to do
like
karate.
that was fresh in my mind when I came back home and found it, the chat. And so I go, tell me the like origin story of Karate Ken, and it just blasted me this amazing story. So I got the automated backstory of Karate Ken, and I'm like, I think I just set the bar way too high on myself, because like it was just a perfect thing where I'm like, oh my god, I want to see what AI comes up with just by knowing that someone's named Karate Ken, and it did not disappoint. So it's a phenomenal feature and concept, but it's 100% Skynet, and this is the problem, is
Yeah,
that
it's
this
lowest
leads.
common denominator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do you want Terminators? Because this is how you get Terminators.
I want Terminators.
Well, yeah, well, all
I
right.
want
You say
T2.
that.
I want T2. I
You
want
say, yeah, you
Arnold,
say
good
that
guy
now, but
Terminators.
to get to T2, we needed to have T1, which is a really
That's true.
scary sci-fi movie. It's a great movie, but it is not as fun and action-packed as T2.
I want 1980 Sarah Connor in my life. That's what I want.
Yeah,
Linda
well,
Hamilton. So if you're out there, just travel, hop in that time machine. Go
mhm.
40 years later. There's no Skynet here. Did you have? Actually, it's totally Skynet. I don't know why I said that. It's not going to convince anybody. There's no Skynet. No Skynet here. It's
Yeah.
we're the closest we've ever been. Did you have any? Well, do you have a story for this in particular? And I also have a question for you.
I mean, a particular story. I mean, my current girlfriend Caitlin and I met online.
Wow.
And my
You
previous
spoiled my question.
yeah, and my previous relationship started online. Meeting, going to Buffalo uh, in my late 20s, you realize that once you leave like college and stuff like that, you just go, all of a sudden you go like, I don't know how to meet new people when there's not like massive gatherings or like classes. like, because in college, like, it was like you go to parties, you have class, and you just meet people. It's really hard to casually meet people the older you get. So yeah, you know what? It was just embrace the online, and I know plenty of people that have very successful marriages, and they started online. It is a pretty common thing, but it's not without it's just a different way to do things. And you realize that when you're doing it.
So I got
But
to think. So with Caitlin,
Mhm.
it had to be like an actual functional dating site. It wasn't. Was it like Tinder?
No, it
Or no?
actually happened to be Tinder.
It was
Yeah.
really no shit. So you're a
Yeah.
success story. Do they should be hounding you down?
Yeah. Yeah. It was. Yeah. I had been on the other stuff. OK Cupid, Match. Um, Yeah, I had been on a couple, and gone on dates with people. Sometimes, a couple, but nothing crazy. But yeah, it's just an interesting way of meeting people. Mostly because I am not skeptical, but like I was a very let's meet in person because I'm like, you can't build a relationship based on back and forth of when you have time to think of what you're going to type, and you can come off not in the personality that you are. So my thing is like, let's meet up for a cup of coffee. Let's the faster we meet up, the less bullshit it is, because the
Yeah.
last thing I want to do is talk to someone for 2 months, then meet up and be like, well, you're not anything like how you are portrayed in text, right? And that's, I think, the biggest, one of the tougher things is that method of meeting people online is you don't 100% know what you're getting. And I don't mean that aesthetically or anything like that. I'm just saying personality wise, how I type an email might not construct the person that I am properly.
Dude, it's brutal. It's brutal trying to like be who you are within like the first three texts to somebody.
Right. That's not exactly,
It's
because it doesn't make
terrible.
sense. Yeah, you can't display who you are. So I had come up, with being like, and listen, I get it's a very different world for women. And it sounds like when you sign up, if you're a woman, my understanding is when you sign up for something and you're a woman and you sign up for like a dating site or anything, you just get a flurry of weird fetish emails and dick pics. I assume that's all your inbox is. It goes from like 0 to
Yeah.
300. Guys, not so much. I did not get any dick pics or for that matter, any like aggressive emails or anything like that. So like I get there's the safety aspect of like trying to meet up with someone. But that's why I would say like meet up for a cup of coffee during the day, drive separately, just like that was kind of like, so Caitlin and I kind of met up pretty quick. And yeah, I mean, it's a very different way of doing things, but I've absolutely ventured into that realm.
That sounds like the right way to do. Like, if you really want something to happen, a relationship, like meet up for coffee, meet up during the day, and that's
Yeah.
probably why I've had minimal success
Okay.
with this.
Okay.
My thing's usually like,
All right.
well, I mean, we've already kind of gone over my just the upstate New York of it all, Central New York, and
Sure.
the single moms, the most people being really far away, and just the bummer of that. I'll still go on once in a while. Um, it could be my profile. I mean, I check this is what my about me says.
Mhm.
And I don't know, it's just like, this is who I am. If you're in it, you are. If you're not, you're not. But I said, I accidentally put my deodorant in the fridge with my other groceries. Now that I've tried it, I'm never going back. It tastes so much better. That's my thing. It's like, not a lot. That does that scream stepdad to you? Like, I like kayaking games and MTV Challenge. That's like my likes. Like,
The problem,
look out,
right.
world! I'm 40 and looking for love.
Now, here's the thing. I think that it's so funny but you have to understand, dude, is it's funny because contextually I know who you are.
Yep.
I think someone
No
who
context for me.
So I think someone, if a woman saw that had a great sense of humor, I'm not sure she'd understand fully that you're absolutely like just using humor there. Like she'd be like, "Oh, haha, obviously he doesn't eat deodorant," but I'm not sure it's haha or like haha crazy or like again, that's so much context and you're just going out there guns blazing.
Well, see, what it does do then is attract typically the unhinged. So it's like
Right.
someone who's willing to jump at that is usually, so then I'll say my last, like one of the last Austin
Mhm.
ventures I had. This is the best microcosm of my online dating
Okay.
experience. Is, hey, we meet at night. We meet at a bar. It's like we know where this is going, kind of. By the way, if you are a mom listening to this, if you're one of my moms, perhaps, or whatever, you can fast forward 2 minutes. You don't have to listen to. I'll be gentle, but you may not want to hear this. Okay. So we meet up, and it's great. Fun, just having drinks. But then, like all of a sudden, a lot of her friends show up. I think it was like one of those, "Hey, we're just gonna show up just to check on you," kind of things. Like 2 hours in, but it was like 8 of them, like showed up as a group to check in on us hanging out. And she was, I mean, it was fine. She's like, "No, we're good. Yeah, yeah." And then I was like, "That's a lot. That's really intense to just like 2 hours in meet 8 of your friends all at
Sure.
once."
Sure.
So it's like, well, then we go back to her place and hanging out. She's got a great dog. She got a roommate, but the roommate's not home. Dog was great. I think I might have. I had a picture of it at one point.
She's
I
got a
don't
great
anymore,
dog.
but dog was awesome. Just hanging out, and then it got to, things were getting physical, and she's like, "We can't do this here. My roommate might come home," and I was like, "We're adults, right?" Just like, by roommates, do you mean your parents? Which she didn't, but it was like, "Are 8 people going to show up? Are 8 people coming back right
Yeah,
now? Like, what's happening?" So we leave. We go out, and essentially, we tested out my back seat belts, if you know what I mean. you know, click, 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 click. And I didn't really enjoy it. I'm gonna say that. So it's like, I was like, we're adults. How did this end up in a car, my car, in the back seat on the street? I guess it was fun in the moment. We were probably a little drunk, but I didn't call her after that or text her.
Okay.
I was like, I'm not really into this, and that was kind of my last time being like, I don't know. Well, the way I'm doing this, I'm not into this anymore. I think ever since my last like longer term relationship of 3 years, it's been a series of like one night type things or short term things, and I don't know, just kind of don't like it anymore. It's like I was talking to friends about it when I traveled to Asheville, and I was like, I don't know. I think I do want to find a partner for real. And I don't know, the online stuff. I want to believe, but like you said, I'd love to like just meet somebody in real life. My ideal is like the organic growth. I'd rather be friends with somebody almost first, and then like it takes that direction to know that we're like in like stupid deodorant jokes or bullshit. Like it's already out there, and
Yeah.
it's like work on it from there. You know.
And how do you
But
meet those?
you, I
You
don't know.
don't. I think we're maxed
Yeah,
out. Like, yeah,
I know.
you like
Yeah,
don't qualify for new friendships, certainly of opposite gender. Like, how do you
mhm,
do? How do you do?
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. Let me know. Let me
Yeah.
know in the Strange Fam how to do that because
Dude, like
I
you
am
need,
out of options.
you know what you're going to start asking for is you're going to start asking like, you're going to start asking for like your mom's like old coworkers niece or something. Like it's going to be like it's going to be 3 degrees of separation that
Oh, around
you
here
that,
for sure it would be.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that's going to be what it is like, or you're like, I don't want to advertise this, but hey, coworkers, if you know like a recent divorcee that you can vouch for, that, oh, you think I'm funny? Do you know any women in the give or take 8 years of my age that would also find this stuff funny? Like, yeah, it's a weird conversation to have, but
Maybe I do need to like Maybe for in the near future, I'll create a more functional like
There you go,
online dating
functional.
profile.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
You
be
don't
like,
need to be professional, but keep your eye on the prize. Let the
yeah,
humor happen on you can listen, man. I'm saying you can test out the humor in person, but you and I both know that humor doesn't always work in text the way that your brain is thinking of it
never.
conversationally.
Yeah. Um.
If we
Yeah,
read the transcript of any episode of this, it would be such trash.
I would
Now
be.
it might be trash anyway, but it'd be trashier. Think of it that way.
Maybe we should just have ChatGPT write us an episode. You
I'm
know what we
I'm a,
could do? I
I'm
think we could actually
100%
upload.
about that.
We could upload our first 11 episode transcripts and then have ChatGPT write us write us a podcast. Maybe it takes like 20 to 25. We should totally act out
Oh my
whatever the
god,
pod is.
episode 20 we don't even participate in. We
We
just
just
let
read it.
chat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we read it. Performance.
Theater.
But yeah, I'll probably never find love. That's basically it.
Dun, 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 dun.
My standards are too high. I know what I'm worth. Yeah, it's just I mean, even like going out in town, like I mean I mentioned it, like going out to those like the bars around town, and even if you see an opportunity or something, if I feel like I see somebody that in the past, I'd be like, I'm gonna talk to this person and maybe we'll I don't know, meet up, hook up or something tonight, and I'm like, I don't have the energy for that anymore. It doesn't bring me joy. It sucks.
Yeah, I get
It's
it,
kind of a
man.
bummer.
I get it.
Yeah, love. Great.
Big fan.
Got to do more exploring. There it is. Explore more. Yeah, I'll try. What I'll do, my homework will be. Also, it's like I clearly don't really want to be with somebody. I don't know. I say I do, but if I did, I would like. I don't know. Have a more sensible profile. Probably swipe right more times. Probably like put more lines out there. I'm clearly not doing that. I'm afraid. You know what? I'm afraid.
Scared.
I'm scared. And actually, I think one comment, just leaning on that,
Sure.
because I think somebody spoke about one of the questions I asked, because I'm just like thinking about my space here.
Okay.
Like my living room here houses all the things that I own, basically. I have a bedroom and then a kitchen, but it's books. There's board games, video games. There's like LPs. There's like stupid paintings or whatever on the wall. So I have like a serious backdrop of a single guy here.
Yeah.
Because someone published, I think, on episode 8, I asked, is it okay to look in people's windows at night while walking by? Because we had talked about that in that episode. Someone said, absolutely. Also, can we discuss the vast difference in both of your backdrops? So that was when you had your window wide open, but you also are broadcasting from an office space.
Yeah.
It's like your whole life isn't all in that one room. You don't live the life of a single guy that just has hobbies on the wall on the bookshelf. Like you live with a woman and you have a house with multiple rooms and shit. It's like that's not how I live at all. I have a poster of the Stanley Cup. That would never survive a house with a woman, really. Hey, we're gonna hang this up in the living room. Also, these LEDs that turn lights, I'm gonna need them all the time. Yeah.
That's like what people refer to as their man cave. I feel like I've been banished to, and that's just home.
It's just my life. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't even touch the lava lamp. All right. It's been
Don't
with me
even
for so
think
long.
about it.
Don't
baby,
think about it.
Baby, this lava lamp was here long before you were, and it'll be here long after you die.
Oh
Man.
And then your friend Jay Boyko. Sure, it's on them to close blinds if they don't want us looking. Thank you, Jay.
Very,
Appreciate your
very
support.
astute answer. Very rational.
Can we get back to but with you and Caitlin? How long has it been now?
Just over 4 years.
4 years. All right.
Yeah.
So how long did it take before y'all moved in together? Like how quick was the progress?
Year and a half.
Okay, that seems right.
Yeah. So I got the house in 2020. So we've been living together for 2.5 years, going on 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
What have you learned about yourself living with a woman?
Huh. I my level of actually this is pretty good. My level of what I consider to be reasonably clean or frequency of cleaning has was in a high discrepancy with that of a woman's.
Yeah.
I didn't live in squalor, but
Yeah.
that being said, like,
Are we
let's
talking
be
nooks and
honest.
crannies, like baseboards, like all that kind of stuff, or just more like
No, not
the
even
dish is
like
out for more than like
I
3 hours kind of thing?
dishes aren't the problem. It's general vacuuming and stuff like that. Like the the carpet usually, like for a lot of my life, it was like if I lived in an apartment and stuff, it was like, is the carpet dirty? No, then why would it need to be vacuumed?
Yeah.
Like where, and I'll admit, a
What do you mean?
cleaner,
It's not. It's not totally soiled.
yeah, or like cleaning, like yeah, like cleaning the bathroom. I would do that a lot less often. But
There's only like 7 pubes on there. Come on, like we could go another week.
so yeah, I think general stuff like that is, um, that's just. But in reality, I kind of like the clean area better. It does,
Hmm.
and cleaning does help with stuff like anxiety and stuff like that. So cleaning can sometimes make you feel better, just to give something a clean. And it's not like it's an aggressive clean. It's just like taking 10 minutes out to clean up what you would normally just leave because it's not bothering you. Like taking like 5-10 minutes to clean up does tend to be a better decision to make because
Yeah,
that
it's
stuff
better than
adds
doing it
up.
for like 2 hours, like
Yeah,
a few
like
days later or something. Yeah.
semi-annual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like yeah, so that's that's something that's different, but yeah, working in tandem, living in tandem is a lot different. So
Now I'm
yeah.
gonna put you out there. What do you think? Do you think she's learned anything from you living with you? If you had to guess or feel, you know?
Yeah, I mean probably the I don't know. I'm trying to think. That's really tough.
I mean, I always thought, I mean, because I've lived with a girlfriend long term once,
Hmm.
and it is like I always tell people, like, even before you marry somebody, if you want to do that, like, you got to live with somebody because your relationship changes so much
Yeah.
when you live with somebody because it's the minutia now of everyday life becomes important, or you
Yeah.
got to be thoughtful about it, or, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
So I mean, yeah, it's it's realizing. I think she realized that, and both of these things came with time. Is I think she realized that it's like, okay, well, I still want to do like a lot of stuff that I like to do, which is socialize and things like that. I'm more of a people person. She likes really low key stuff, and we try to find a balance of that. So, when I was in an apartment and stuff, a lot of times I'd be out and about on the weekends and stuff like that. Usually like traveling and stuff because if I'm seeing someone or visiting, like I would just drive places and stuff like that. And now with a house, what's nice is that it's kind of like I can find stuff to do around the house as far as like projects to make me try to feel better. I'm really bad at pulling the trigger and doing them, but I really like when I take the time to do the projects. So I think it's she has learned that, um, there's still individual ways to do stuff. We just try to uh, find a balance between keeping an individual profile and doing stuff together.
do you guys get pressure now to talk about marriage and stuff like that? I mean,
Oh
I
yeah,
feel
from
like it's
from
that's like a family thing, like
oh
annually,
from plenty
probably
from
every yeah.
from plenty of people, and um, I just I just don't. It used to make me feel awkward, but now I just realize like I'm just like it'll happen when something's ready to happen. Like it's weird to me that people are concerned with whether or not other people get married. That's very
Hmm.
weird to me
Yeah.
because I'm like, how does this affect you? And if you can't tell me, then I'm not certain why we're talking about this.
Can you tell me about your banking statements, basically? Can you tell me
Right? Like
what kind of
I
insurance do
don't
you guys
know.
have together?
It's just it's a I get people are curious, but curiosity doesn't also mean there's any logical reason to ask. Like, I
Do you
think
have
it's
couple
people are
friends?
bored. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, are most of them married, or you also have like, I mean, is it?
Couple. I have
Yeah.
I have a couple single friends. She doesn't really have. I mean, she has some friends that are unmarried, but they're in committed long term like relationships. So like off the top of my head, I don't know that she has single friends that I know.
Ah, damn it.
Sorry, bud.
Ah, fuck. All right. Moving on.
Yeah, coworkers
I
maybe.
tried. Yeah,
Coworkers. But yeah, I mean, listen, if you want some of that Philly loving, there are plenty of
I'll set my
single women in Philadelphia, and I bet some of them are disease free.
I'll set my Tinder radius to 600 miles.
There you go.
You know,
There you go.
just meet up casually.
Got that guest room for you, bud. You can even,
Yeah.
don't abuse the privilege. Bring,
Yeah.
but
Hey, is anybody sleeping in your car?
see, that's what I was getting at. See, you got to be a little bit better than that. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, I don't care if you bring a girl back, and you're welcome to stay as long as you need to, but I don't want you to bring home someone who's going to like, I have to worry if they're going to stab and rob me.
An Eagles fan.
There you go. Yeah. So you'd have to probably make it weird because there's a lot of South Philly girls that are big into the Eagles down here. So good luck with that. Hi, I'm Matt. I'm a Giants fan. Hello.
Hey, I like football. I like the Giants. Eli Manning's my number one.
There you go. Yeah, they love that down here.
All right. Let's get into. There's a few little responses that we've had on. If y'all check out the Spotify, we got some polls or questions on there. We're learning about the functionality. I guess on episode 7, we posted, "Have you ever been arrested?" Split in thirds. Yes, no, and should have been. So probably.
Wow.
That feels like our right audience.
I gotta admit, I'm good for the people who just flat out put no. Because I'm fairly certain any of like my friends from college in some way, shape, or form probably are gonna be yeses or should have been.
It should have been, yeah.
So be interesting to see that.
On episode 8, we talked about my role as a manager doing some cleaning and discuss whether I set a good example by doing the dirty work. The options were yes, staff will follow, or no, must delegate. Majority are yes, staff will follow, but it's pretty close. It's like 2/3 to 1/3. Also on YouTube, I believe we got a message from Ken about this as well. So Ken, we know, is your mother. Your mother, Ken, commented from your dad's TV. Said, cleaning up the spill is a kindness move. Next time, you just look and say, your turn. I like that. That's what I'm going to go with, Ken. Thanks, Mama Ken. I will do that.
Sherbo's always thinking of the greater good first. Yeah, that's her version of putting her foot down. I'm going to do it once. But then the second time, I'm going to look at you and say, your turn. And then when you don't do it, I'm going to ask you again very politely, and then I'll do it.
We did get a message from Billy Sweeney again. Billy, we were using your full name. I hope that's all right. I guess it was. You commented again.
Billy Bleep.
It said, my anxiety thoroughly enjoyed all this. One of our episodes. If you guys aren't able to ride this podcast straight to the bank, probably not. Group therapy sessions with all the fun sound effects. Well done, lads. It is. I'm glad he appreciated the group therapy of it all. It's like, I mean, I don't know. When you're catching up with people, it's kind of like, tell me about the shit.
It's therapeutic.
Tell me about the trenches. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Jokes on everyone else. If this fails miserably on the path that it's probably bound for, it still would have paid off for us. Because it's therapeutic and we are talking to each other.
And I would say too, like, I don't think we ever had real conversations ever. And when we were, like, we've really glowed up. We got Woody Big.
Do people in high school have legit conversations? And I'm asking this 100% serious.
You can't. I mean, you think you do.
I don't even think you do. Because what are we?
You don't think that you do?
What is there important to talk about?
Well, it's more like, do they like me? Do I like them? How come they didn't whatever text me, or they didn't look at me in the hallway? Or it's like just it's probably a lot of, I think all the communication is based on no confidence at all in yourself as a person,
Mm-hmm.
or no experiences and not knowing anything really. So it's probably, I think it's based a lot on fear. Even if you think you're the most confident person when you're in high school, you really aren't. I mean, nobody, I mean, I don't know.
Mm-mm.
How do you even develop that?
Mm-mm.
Really? Strange. How do you develop self-confidence? It's like,
Yeah.
you got to go through shit and then you can talk about
For
it.
all those teenagers and recently 40-year-olds, how do you build confidence?
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is kind of wild that we do. I don't know. Maybe we've both been on our own. We've clearly both been on our own journeys, but um, it is. I. It is kind of strange that we can just share it pretty easily and openly. I don't know. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess I've gone through a lot of like life, college, and shit, and I've had the right people in my life to start opening me up, because I definitely wasn't like this even at 30. I would say it's been like the last 10 years in my 30s to like
Okay.
kind of process what I had done, my experiences, and then how to communicate it, how to feel it, and how to share those feelings for better or worse, because it's not always good the way I share my feelings. I'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been in college mode. I was in college mode for damn near a decade. What I mean by that is like the maturity and everything, like literally from 18 to like 28 until I got, actually, I would go even, I would even say from up until 2011 when I moved to Buffalo, I was in college mode. Like I called when I lived in North Carolina for 2010, I call that as like a vacation where I worked. Like I literally just hung out and did nothing adult-esque for 10 months. Like, so I just was always on the temporary and everything like that. And actually getting my first like career big boy job was the first thing that kind of like started making me think more like an adult. Like I was being, and I think it was because I had a sense of like starting to get on the right path with um, being 100% financially like independent and trying to get on that path and stuff like that. And what I mean by that is like not trying not to live like literally paycheck to paycheck and like buying having like cars that were either passed down to me or just anything like that. Like it was just getting handed stuff. So like I felt like kind of like I was finally writing my own ship. um but yeah, I mean that almost didn't happen until basically till I was 30. I was just in this weird purgatory. Didn't know how to handle anything about my emotions, my feelings, how to express myself, nothing. No idea. And so now I've gotten, made a lot of headway. Um, and there's some friends that I've had sticking with me the whole way. Where, like you said, like they did help me feel comfortable opening up. I probably had some good people in my corner for that. Um, and then, I still try to be a lot more upfront, honest with myself in front of people and honest with those people. But I've always had like a fear that people are going to judge the hell out of me and like stop wanting to be my friend if I opened up, like if I burdened them with any real talk.
Right. Yeah.
And of course you find out that mass majority of people aren't doing that to you. Like they're just like, oh, you want to talk real? Okay, sure, I will talk real. Like, yeah, I'm here if you need to talk real. And that's really, it's a tough mountain to get over. To really, and then you kind of have a sense of guilt because you're like, wow, I never gave my friends credit that they would actually not treat me like shit if I tried talking real
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, I'm sorry. I know we've been close, but I did not give you the credit you deserved. So it's I try to make it more open, and that's actually one of the ways that I was able to cope with like my anxiety and stuff with my mental health stuff that I went through, was just being like, I got to stop acting like it's something to hide. So like I try to talk about it very matter of fact wise and irrational and not seem standoffish about it. Like, so just be like, yeah, no, I deal with a lot of mental health issues. I deal with anxiety. I've had a history of depression, stuff like that. Be like, but you work on it. And like, it's almost like catches people off guard, but I think it helps a lot of other people to just talk about it as if, it's not a big deal, or just be showing comfort doing it.
Yeah, same. I mean, same for me. Like, just needed friends or had friends in my life that were open, knew how to, I guess, be more open with their feelings, and basically, like, coerced me into it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, honestly, like, hey, let's hug it out, or let's have a hug, and I'd be like, no, I don't really want to do that, or it's like, you know what? Say I love you. You got to say I love you to me, like that kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I'm saying it, but I'm uncomfortable. This is new for me. Like, I don't know how to do this.
Yep. In
But
for the bro hug. In for the
yeah,
bro hug.
feelings can be I mean, it is kind of like a practice thing too, or it has
Oh
been
yeah.
for me. Like, um, and I mean, I guess I appreciate everybody in my life that's dealt with my bullshit, my feelings,
Yeah.
because I guess
Right. Exactly.
those are the ones. Those are the real ones. Anybody that's still in my life to this day,
Good for
it's
you.
like, I know, congrats. You get a card. I decided on my 40th birthday that I'm going to be a card writer, a letter writer. That's going to be the new me.
Okay.
So when I was
To
in
what
Asheville,
to what
North
extent?
Carolina, I got like little gifty cards, stationary. I just want to know. I just want to like send little cards to people that I know. I think part of this is helping that, like opening up to people.
Mhm.
They could be, I don't know, maybe cheesy shit, or maybe a little, mix of feelings, a mix of deodorant jokes, maybe a little bit of back and forth, but just maintaining contact with
Yeah, or
people
or don't make the
through the
deodorant
mail.
joke.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
really you really love that joke, don't you?
I
I
do.
adore that joke.
I'm gonna come up with a stamp one,
Mhm.
I think, for the
Okay,
letters.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Um, but I was like, man, that'd be pretty awesome to like get a letter in the mail from somebody. I don't know, or a card, because I was getting birthday cards. I got one from work, and it was clearly like from Wegmans, and all the managers, whatever, they all sign it, but they don't know who it's going to.
No,
It's
they have
just
no
like
clue.
they clearly sit in the office and just sign a bunch, like whatever, like an athlete signing a bunch of cards in a session.
Yeah.
And I was
So
like,
it's
okay, it's like,
sentimental.
yeah, it's like this is mail. I was like, what if I got like a real card? And I was like,
That's
what if I send a real card to somebody?
that's something that I do. Oof, that's a good example of shit I hate.
What?
That like having all the managers sign a card
Oh, going through the
and
motions
then
of
just yeah,
something.
like fuck
Yeah.
you. It's literally worse than doing nothing. That's breaking your back for the employer, who then throws you a fucking pizza party because they won't give you a raise. You're like, no, I'd rather you not act like you're solving this problem. So like that's what that is to me. If I got it like a card like that, I would be like, leave me alone. Or like an automatic email on your work anniversary that says like, wow, it's been 6 years. Congratulations
Yeah, I
for
know.
being part of the team. Fuck you. Shut up.
Honestly, yeah.
Shut
My
up.
favorite one is the one I get from Nintendo, that it's like it's your birthday. And I'm like, wow, Nintendo knows. It's like,
Right.
at least like I care about Nintendo. Like they're like, hey, here's 10% off. And I'm like, this is a real thing. I'm like, yeah,
Hey, that's
this
at
is
least
this
has
is worth something. Yeah.
yeah, that's got value. But like it's hard with like a job. I say that specifically because I know a lot of people, and especially for my own past employer, deal with corporate bullshit. And don't I'd rather my boss take 5 minutes out of their day and talk to me and be like, "Yo, man, so how you doing?" Be like, "You've been here for 3 years, happy work anniversary, but how's shit going?" But like, take 5 minutes and chat with me. Don't send me like a fucking. I don't want a stupid email or anything like that. Like, it's insincere, so don't do it. You don't mean it, so don't do it. Like,
Yeah.
corporations can literally eat all of the shit. I'm not important to you. Don't forget that. And don't try to act like you're more than just a number, or we're a family. Stop it. No, we're not.
Give me a hell yeah!
Exactly, Stone Cold.
Here, do you question? I was talking about this with
Please.
somebody at work. So at Wegmans, we do these things called care cards.
That sounds
So
fucking
it's
terrible, but please continue.
I know. So it is a monetary value. So if somebody does something extra, steps up, helps you out, you can get them. Like, I'm in a position I can just go get them for people, and it's a $5 coupon that you give to somebody. And it's like, hey, thanks for doing that. So in a way, I'm like, that's cool that we do that, but it's also like we give it for times when people like have the day off and they come in and work for like 6 hours. It's like, thanks for coming in on your day off. here's $5. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'd rather just not. It's almost insulting in a way. Like if it's like, okay, here, let's say somebody had to go to the bathroom on the register or whatever, they had to go take a break, make a phone call. Like if somebody stepped up from whatever the frozen department and worked on the register for like 10, 15 minutes, that's like, to me, it's like
It's a
that's a
$5
thing.
There's
But
a
coming in
$5.
for a whole day,
Yeah.
and we use it because we say like, hey, you come in, tell you what, we're gonna give you chauffeur dough, which is an extra $1 per hour, and then a care coupon for $5. So it's basically like you're making $6, $7, and then $5, and like you pitch it like that. But I'm like, I have like 5 of them sitting in my drawer of these care coupons, and I'm like, I guess it's like, I don't know, like I don't. It's one of those. Am I the asshole for not thinking that it? I mean, the recognition is better than the $5.
Yes,
$5 is
that's
almost a
what I'm
slap in the
saying.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, appreciate you like really going out of your way. Here's 5 ones. It's like, what?
Yeah.
That's grandma birthday money. I'd rather get a $2 bill than a $5 care coupon. At least it's something unique.
Yeah, or it's just like, oh, I came in on day off. Give me a comp day. Well, or we can't. I'm like, then, like, fuck off. Like, and it's not because they can't. Listen, like Wegmans isn't the size of an insurance company. I understand that, but Wegmans is a fucking profit machine, and so it's like, don't act like, hey, guys, $5 is a lot. Like, come on, like, just stop. You're
But as you have to spend it in the store
yeah,
too.
yeah,
So
and you're
it's still like,
it's chastising. It's bullshit. And yeah, talk to me like a fucking adult and just thank me for doing a good thing so that I can just say I did a good deed. Like,
yeah, I've always been more like, oh yeah, I'm doing a good job. Well, how about can I just get more money and more free time? That's what I always like.
right.
You're like, hey, what do you want, a pizza party? You're like, no,
Yeah.
I'll eat
No.
pizza at home.
Or
I
just
want,
improve my job.
yeah,
Improve
yeah,
improve like the wellness. Like, right. People are like, oh, our culture's poison. Well, would it be poison if we put pizza in there? Yeah, you'd just be serving poisoned pizza. Like, fix the job culture. Like, stop running your employees and treating them like shit. And like, but we get garbage remedies, and it's like, just stop. So I always try to remind myself, it's like, I'm not going to bust my ass for just this generic corporate entity. I will treat people like humans, and I will treat them like adults, and I will go within my boundaries and sometimes outside of my boundaries. Like when I was a supervisor, I felt like I went certainly in directions that supervisors weren't supposed to go, like letting people leave early and stuff. Cause I'm like, no, this is the right way to handle this. This person did this. And like, they're like, well, you can't really do that. I'm like, but here we are.
yeah.
I'm like, so whatever. Like, so it's like, you just don't patronize people. Being,
It is. It's
just
weird because some
fucking
people
stop.
are really into it. Like I'll give it to some people sometimes. They're like, oh, you didn't have to do that, and I'm like, this is like the very least I could do. Like this is like
Right. Or the
the
people
least
that
thing
are
I could do
jazzed,
for you.
the people that
Yeah.
are jazzed to get that pizza party. I'm like, I don't even know how to address this with you because it seems to be pleasant for you, but I'm like, so what? You don't care if you're treated like shit as long as they feed you pizza once a month? I'm like,
I had a-
that's a pretty bad tell.
Well, the big news, leaning on that, Wegmans number 4 best place to work in 2023 according to Forbes. Woo, just
Really?
announced this week. Yeah.
What does high score mean? New high
Yeah.
score, is that bad?
So it's like, considering the things we just talked about makes us number 4, like how shitty are other companies? Like that's what makes me think that.
That's
Like,
amazing.
I really think it's like, it's kind of like bottom of the barrel stuff, like General Happiness.
Now, why
And,
am I? Now, wait, what's that top 4 in the industry?
I don't know.
I
It just
don't
says
know.
number
I'm
4,
I'm looking at
2023.
Forbes and it says Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee.
But number 4?
Mhm.
Well, I don't know.
So
I can't reconcile that.
yeah, next, tell me, how long have you been a fucking liar?
You can say anything on the internet. We already know that.
That's a good point. Never mind. Touche,
I
salesman.
think it was just announced. Is it really? I mean, also, I don't give a shit, but
Oh,
I just saw a bunch of number 4s in the store in the announcement the other day. So, something we hang our hats on 26 years in a row. But it's all done with surveys, stuff like that. Ultimately, though, it's like you're saying, just
I
treat
see.
people well.
You know what it is, Matt? You
Are we
guys are
number 4 in
You're
grocery
44.
stores?
You're 44.
Really?
Wegmans is 44. That's what my phone's
Holy
showing.
We must be like 4 in retail or something like that.
I don't know, man. I think you just see a bunch of 4s hanging out and you didn't realize that they're in
Dude,
pairs.
that would be hilarious.
Dude,
if
I'm
we
looking at it and it
were
says
lying.
44.
I hope that's the thing.
Oh,
Oh,
that'd
that'll
be
be great.
amazing. I'm gonna see if my company's on here. Does not look like we made the list.
No. It'll
No.
be all right.
Yeah. Again, I don't care if what the. Oh no, we are 59.
Oh man, you guys suck.
Progressive Insurance is 59.
You mean 5?
So
Aren't you guys 5.9?
5.9
Yeah,
according to
you
Matt's
5.9.
scale.
Yeah. All right. Comment YouTube.
Yeah.
A fella named Sean, who we both know. So when can I buy a shirt?
Oh,
Dude, we needed the merch game. We'll explore.
Strange
we'll
Fam
have to come up with a
shirts.
good
If we have
idea.
any graphic designers out there or an ins with shirts, used to have a t-shirt guy in Auburn.
I might have a t-shirt guy.
Kid we went to high school with, Brandon, was a t-shirt guy. Owned a company. Brandon W. that we were in band with.
From episode 9, my text exchange.
Oh yeah.
How awkward was Matt's text exchange? 50-50. Well, it was 3 options. Not too bad. Tough but understandable, and I had to fast forward. So, like, I think I had to fast forward, and not too bad are in the lead on that one.
Okay.
I had to fast forward. That was brutal, man.
It was pretty awkward.
Tough. It was tough. Yeah, I think that's got some love the pod. Also, hot yoga is fire. Pun intended from JB. JB.
Classic J.
On Team Matt.
That's horse shit.
And yeah, getting some reels out there. We're starting to do, like, the more this goes, I don't know. When we started this, I was like, I just want to do this, and I don't really care like if it grows, but it's kind of cool that people are checking it out.
Yeah.
Maybe relatable. We'll get all the do you think there's people that are our age that are like, I can't believe a 40-year-old can make a podcast? It's really cool. Like, we can pick it up. We're just I mean, I know a lot of 40-year-olds do that, and a lot of older people, but it's like, how many people in their lives know people that do a podcast and something as original as this? I mean, we're setting a standard for relationship podcasts.
It's very true. We'll just and right now we are really kind of trying to break into a weird realm of podcasting, but you'll slowly but surely you'll see this probably just drift into a fantasy football podcast. So gradual that we won't even realize it ourselves.
And, episode 50.
When we run out of
Fantasy
shit
football
to
season
talk,
will
yeah,
be
it's
in.
just going to be
Yeah.
fantasy football chatter.
We're all caught up.
Yeah, right. So we'll be like, oh, good, the fantasy league starting. So we have our draft coming up.
All right. Did you have any messages?
Yeah,
any strange fan mail on your Facebook side?
So yeah, we on the Facebook side of things, we've had some comments on our reel. People saying, "I love to be part of the Strange Fam." We all are.
Really? Somebody said that?
Yeah, love being
Holy shit.
Love being a part of the Strange Fam.
Fuck yeah.
Then I got, we are all hashtag Strange Fam.
What?
And then another one that says, we're all just here for the theme song. ... Just me? I kid. Love the content.
Wow.
Super stoked to be part of the Strange Fam.
That's cool. I mean,
So-
I'm mostly here for the theme song too.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah. Let me see what else we got here. Let's see.
I've gotten
yeah,
just IRL comments about
IRL.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in real life, and it's like one of those. Hey, you guys are you're doing it. You guys are doing it. Which I don't know if it's a comment.
Yeah,
or
I don't know how to
It's like,
take that.
hey, you guys are you're something's happening. You guys are doing something.
Yeah. Look at
but
you.
I mean, to reference the greeting cards again, like, I do want to give you credit for that. But yeah, feel more empowered to explore relationships. That was kind of my goal for this year, as we touched on at the beginning. But I feel better. about it. Like I even told people at work about it. I don't tell them how to find it. I'm not really internet friends with people, but I'm comfortable telling people I'm doing a podcast now, which is the most embarrassing sentence you can say to a human. It's nothing. Just saying the word podcast to a person and make is just horribly crippling. It's like
Saying I'm doing a podcast has the stigma now that saying you are online dating had 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 15. I'll go 15.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all right. It's like, I'm making a podcast. Oh yeah? Cool. Middle-aged white guy. You have a podcast? That's new. Good for you. Really breaking outside the box there, right? Really knocking down some walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any? I know the last app was a lot of things we like.
Yeah.
Any recommendations? Any recent recommendations? And your
I will let you know, just as an update for you and for the fans. I did catch an episode, the episode 1 of the Detroiters.
Oh yeah.
So yes, I will be going further into. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid, but it's amazing because it's if you took the skit concepts and humor of, I think you should leave. And it's like, and turn that into a plot line. It's
tried to structure
right, and tried to structure a TV show around it, like them trying to come up with like the Chrysler ad in the middle of the night after episode 1,
GM or one of those.
Yeah, it's so nonsensical because they just do some drugs, and like the idea they come up with is so awesomely dumb and ridiculous and absurd. It's very good style of humor. So I will say I'm engaged, and I'm looking forward to some more episodes. If you have a rec, go over it because there's a part of this rec that I want to draw up, but I can't remember what I was going to say.
Well, when I took my trip to Asheville, I did listen to some pods. I played 2 things I did was play a game. I caught some Last of Us episodes, and I'm almost done with that.
Okay.
And I played a game which I want to recommend. It's called Hades. I have it on the Switch. I think it's on every platform. It's one of my favorite games I've ever played, I think, in the last couple of years. It's a lot of Greek mythology stuff, but it's kind of like an action RPG. But every run you do is different, and it's kind of built for you to lose, so that every time you lose, you learn more and get a little bit stronger. But it's one of those you can pick up and play at any time. But I also listen to a podcast. I'm recommending a podcast on Pod. It's called Blocks. Neil Brennan, who's a comedian, probably most known. He's got stand-up specials, but I think, is most known for being the head writer for a Chappelle show when that was on.
Nice.
But his show is called Blocks, and he interprets blocks as things in somebody's life that make them feel separated from the rest of society or feel different from other people, or maybe like literally block them from having interactions with people. So we all have those in some way or another. So he explores those mostly with comedians. So it's pretty funny, but it gets pretty deep. So it's like this show, but
good,
more professional and funny. Yeah. With famous people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I don't know what the appeal is, but
if you somehow like this, check out Blocks because you'll love it. Yeah, it'll be great.
If you hate this, check it out because you might like that, because that's what you were hoping this would be.
Yeah.
What I was gonna the rec I'm gonna do. Oh, and by the way, because this is just how these things have been going, I own like 4 games on Switch. Actually, no, I own like 8. And they're all
I see that.
They're all
that Switch setup back there.
They're all either Lego or Mario, except for Hades.
Dude, what?
I literally have the game Hades.
Fuck yeah! I didn't know that.
It makes no sense. Like I'm like, so my boss had recommended it to me. He's like, dude, he's like, you got to pick up Hades, and I'm like, yo, actually, they have it on like, it was like $15 when he recommended it to me. I'm like, I'll just download it now. It sat for 2 months. I picked it up. I'm like, oh yeah, this is really weird, but addictive. And like, it's not even normally the style of game I like, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Like I would watch people stream. I was like, how do they even know what's going on? They're like, people were like, oh, it's so like once you get into the store, like the lore, the more you lose, the more lore you get.
Yeah, it's really weird. Whatever. It's a very weird game, but that's incredible.
But then
that
each
you
run,
that.
basically, you're the son of Hades trying to escape the underworld. And every escape is a run. And
You
but
just
every
die.
run is different because you get different powers and abilities and perks, and it's all, dude, no shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Still haven't escaped. I'm still working on it. I'm like 35 runs in, but
yeah, I'm not good at it, so it's
yeah,
taking me
yeah.
I assume it's taking me longer than most people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's funny that my recommendation is because this is going to be a creator and a director. His name is Taylor Morden. That's right, Morden, not Warden. Flip the W upside down, Morden. So he's had a couple different documentaries, and he's working on one right now for Lost, and it's about like kind of the fad and like the world that Lost
Yo.
created. Now he does have a documentary that was pretty popular on Netflix recently, and that's The Last Blockbuster. His story about the Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon, and how
Bend, Oregon. Yeah,
Blockbuster.
that's right.
Yeah,
I heard of
it's
that.
on
Yeah.
Netflix, and that's one of his. But he also did. So, and for those of you that don't know, I worked at a Blockbuster from 2003 to 2005 in
That's
Auburn, New York.
right.
It's the
Yes.
greatest job I ever had, and if they ever come back, if video stores ever come back, I will 100% get a job at a video store.
How long did you hang on to your Blockbuster card, by the way?
Long time.
Me too, way too long. I
Yeah.
moved it from place to place. It definitely
Yeah.
made it to Texas before I threw it away.
I used to know what my employee number was, like 30565298265 or something like that. But anyway,
Whoa.
yeah, so there was that, and then he also did another documentary called Pick It Up Ska in the 90s. And he did a documentary about the ska movement, third wave ska in the 90s and stuff like that. Interviews a bunch of bands, but talks about it like its importance in like music and pop culture and stuff like that. Both the Blockbuster and the ska docs are amazing. They're really well done, even if you aren't a massive fan of both of those things, which is why I'm like, this guy's the greatest director in the world. I want to be friends with him because he loves Blockbuster and ska. So I'm really excited. He's a guy that seems very much just like you and I.
Yeah.
I creeped
Exactly
up.
like us.
I creeped up and made, became friends with him on Facebook. So we are Facebook friends. But yeah, I mean, I've watched
Strangely Familiar, the doc.
I've watched a few seasons of Lost because Caitlin was into it. And my brother Brian was a big Lost fan. So I would do want to finish it because I'm excited because I know he's going to do good work on that documentary. And I think that's going to be another one where people are like, yeah, shit, you could do a documentary on like the pop culture fad of Lost. So like
I was all in.
I feel like he's very
All in on
in
Lost, yeah.
tune with certain pop culture aspects. And so I'm excited for him to start his work on that. He just announced that he was working on it probably about a month ago or so. So I'm not sure projected what his completion time is, but yeah, Taylor Morden, check him out. He's got 2 phenomenal documentaries. One to the extent like the ska in the 90s, I actually bought it on Blu-ray because I was so excited that it existed. But I'm pretty sure you can still catch The Last Blockbuster if you haven't yet. You can catch that on Netflix.
That's awesome. Yeah. I was huge into Lost. I mean, obviously you didn't know that, but when it came out, because I think I caught it because I did that whatever summer in Hawaii after college, and that's where they were filming it.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw there like Dominic, the Hobbit dude.
I was gonna say, yeah,
he's in it.
Mary from
Yeah.
The Hobbit.
Yeah, and then Kate, whatever her real name is.
Chick, the Wasp.
They were a couple, I think. Yeah, so they were like in a grocery store together or something. And someone was like, "Oh, they're on Lost," and I was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "It's something filming here." And then when I went home, I watched it. And I was like, "This is fucking awesome," because I was still in that Hawaii mindset of like, all I can do is think about Hawaii and the beauty of mountains and the ocean. And I was like, I'm just a Hawaii guy now because I was there for like 2 months. But the show ended up being good, fortunately. And I've been thinking about rewatching it. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll rewatch it and then hopes that when's that doc supposed to come out?
No idea.
But it's in creation.
Yeah.
Big. But yeah, I think that was a turning point for TV in terms of like writing and made like sci-fi or like drama kind of fun. It wasn't like just these procedurals like SVU or all that stuff, Law and Orders. It was
Yeah,
like
and then
its own entity.
Yeah, because when did that start? Probably our senior year of high school,
Like 05
Oh,
or
did
something
it
like that.
really that late?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like 04, 05, I think.
Oh wow.
Like I watched it by getting it on Netflix with the discs.
Yeah, buddy.
Remember that? Remember, like, get one disc. I mean, you know what? 1 month I splurged for the 2 discs at a time
You're a
plan.
madman.
Yeah.
That'll never catch
I was
on.
rolling in it.
Blockbuster wanted nothing to do with that. That'll never
No,
catch
I know.
on.
Yeah, they did, but it was too late. I think they started their DVD mail program, but they were already like,
Who, Blockbuster?
yeah,
Yeah.
like late.
They
in
also
there.
did a Redbox thing and tried doing that, and that didn't work.
Yeah. Oh well, too bad for you.
Redbox still going strong. You can still find
does.
Redbox.
Yeah, I don't have. There's in every Walmart you'll find one. I think basically.
I got one at the CVS down the street and Walmart.
Here's a rec. That's where you should buy your games. Like if you want to buy like actual hard disk games,
Yeah.
for your Xbox or PlayStation, just buy them there. Because usually they're like after they've been rented for like a month or two, you can buy them for like $14.
Yeah, no kidding.
They're just trying to get rid of them. Yeah. Or you just keep it and you forget, and then you end up buying it anyway. So,
Also a good strategy. Actually, that's a terrible strategy.
yeah, full price, without the art or the case. All right, well, let's roll. Let's roll for next week. Run out of dice. I did find online a random word generator. So once you roll out of dice,
okay,
we'll just go that route. It'll probably be better. I don't know. We'll see. Come on, more love. Have more. Oh, forgive.
Okay, interesting.
Number 1, forgive.
Forgive.
Number 2, I think we already had that word. I'll do the next one I saw. Resolution.
Okay.
Forgive, resolution. How do these always sort of go together? It's weird. Did we already do incredible? I don't think so.
I don't think we did.
Right? Incredible, resolution, forgive. Oh, that'll be fun. I don't know.
How many dice are on this?
We're almost like, I mean, I would say we probably got a couple more.
Okay.
A few more rolls of this.
Okay.
But I mean, obviously, they're all 9-sided, right? 6-sided.
Oh boy.
6-sided.
Matt doesn't know how much.
9-sided.
Oh boy, 9-sided. There we go, folks.
9-sided. No, they are. You guys just can't see them.
Yeah.
They're definitely 9-sided.
Nonahedron. I don't even know what a 9-sided figure would be.
All right, bud. Here's our second 10. Our second 10 begins.
That's episode 11, or as Wegmans would call it, episode number 1. There you go, folks.
Later.